All right, let's get right into it. We're all getting pretty used to talking to AI on our phones and computers, right? But what if the physical world, your factory, your farm, your house, could actually start a conversation with you? We're about to look at a totally new kind of operating system that's making this a reality, and it's changing, well, pretty much everything about how we interact with the world around us. Everything really kicks off with this one powerful idea. You see, for decades, programming meant getting lost in the weeds, in the nitty-gritty details of how to make something work. But as AI gets smarter and smarter, our job is changing. This isn't just a small tweak, it's a massive shift in how we think about technology. It's the key to understanding where all of this is going. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way. We had to tell the computer exactly how to do something, step by step, line by painful line of code. But now, look at the right. In this AI era, we're jumping up a level. Our job is now to just clearly define what we want to get done, and we let the AI figure out the complex how. Our value isn't about being a code wizard anymore. It's about being an architect of intent. But, of course, there is a catch. For this whole what not how dream to work in the real world, with actual sensors, motors, and machines, we can't just keep using the same old tools. It won't work. We need a completely new foundation, a brand new kind of operating system built from the ground up to connect our intentions with physical action. This brings us right to the heart of the issue with the Internet of Things today. You could call it the silent problem. The thing is, most of our so-called smart devices are, well, they're actually pretty dumb. They're stuck operating with a frustrating mix of ambiguity and total rigidity that's really holding them back. Let's break that down a little. Your typical IoT device runs on super rigid if this, then that rules. It can't adopt if something unexpected happens, and it definitely can't handle a vague command like, hey, make the office more comfortable. And here's the biggest issue. These devices are silent. Sure, something might happen and you get a ping on your phone, but that notification has zero context. The device itself can't start an intelligent conversation about what happened and what to do next. So, how in the world do you fix a problem that big? Well, this is where VIET Systems comes in. It tackles the problem with a complete, integrated ecosystem, and it's designed for one specific thing: to translate what we want, our intent, into crystal clear physical action. And it's all built on 5 pillars that work together seamlessly. Okay, here they are, the 5 pillars. It all starts with VLogic, which is basically a programming language that reads like plain English, that runs on VSS, a custom-built operating system which lives on these tough little hardware controllers called IOEZ. Then, up in the cloud, you have digital representatives, which are like the interpreters between the hardware and the AI. And the foundation holding it all together is a core idea called elementary operations. And that last one is the real key to making sure there's zero confusion. All right, so let's get into the real secret sauce here. How does this system actually get rid of all that confusion and ambiguity we were talking about? It all comes down to 2 of those pillars we just saw: elementary operations and digital representatives. So at the very heart of this system is this concept, elementary operations. The best way to think about them is like the atoms of a process. They're the smallest possible single action you can take. So instead of a vague command like irrigate the field, you break it down into these tiny, foolproof atoms like turn on pump number 1. Each one has a clear trigger, a timeout, and a super simple action. This is exactly how the system takes our fuzzy human language and turns it into precise commands a machine can execute perfectly every single time. And this next idea is just brilliant. We've all heard the term digital twin, right? It's basically just a passive digital copy of a device. But VIT Systems has something way better: a digital representative. Now, this isn't just some dumb copy. It's an active, thinking partner that lives in the cloud. It doesn't just show you the device's status. It acts as an intelligent go-between, allowing an AI to truly understand, interact with, and control its physical buddy in the real world. So, when you put these 2 ideas together, elementary operations and digital representatives, you get the single biggest breakthrough of this entire system. For the very first time, we can actually flip the script on communication. It's no longer just about us talking to devices. It's about the devices starting a conversation with us, or even more powerfully, with an AI. Just stop and think about what that really means for a second. What if a motor in your factory could feel a tiny, weird vibration, open up a chat with a maintenance AI and say, hey, something's off with my vibration? Based on the data, this usually leads to a total breakdown in about 48 hours. What's the plan? That's the kind of game-changing power we're talking about here. The old way of doing things was a one-way street. Plain and simple. A human had to notice a problem, then go ask an AI a question, and only then would the AI maybe send a command to a device. The whole chain of events had to be kicked off by a person. It's completely reactive. But now, that entire paradigm gets flipped on its head. A physical event out in the world, a weird sensor reading, a machine changing state, can now directly start a conversation with an AI. The human is no longer the mandatory starting point. This creates a real, honest-to-goodness circular workflow, where the physical world is an active player in its own management. So what does this event-driven AI conversation stuff actually mean in the real world? Well, for starters, it means proactive intelligence. The AI spots trouble long before a human ever could. It means every single conversation starts with full context, so the AI knows exactly what's going on. This massively reduces the workload on people because you're only brought into the loop when your human brain is genuinely needed. It all adds up to a true, intelligent, closed-loop system. But the vision here doesn't just stop at one smart device talking to one AI. No, this new communication channel opens the door to something way, way bigger. A collaborative society of specialized AIs, all working together through the physical world. So let's just trace how this whole thing evolves. It starts simple, right? You have an AI controlling a single device. That's the basic top-down model we're already getting used to. Then you get the breakthrough we've been talking about. The device can now talk back. It can start its own conversation with an AI based on what's happening in the real world. The communication loop is officially closed. And this is where it gets mind-blowing. This leads to the ultimate vision. One device's digital representative senses an issue and talks to a specialized maintenance AI. That AI can then use another device's digital representative to talk to a different, specialized logistics AI to order a part. These digital representatives become like a universal switchboard, allowing a whole society of AIs to team up, using the physical world itself as their network. So let's just bottom line it. Why is this a completely new way of building things? This table says it all. Other systems have to be started by a human or a rigid rule. Here, a physical event kicks things off. Other systems give you almost no context. This one attaches a rich history automatically. And the biggest difference? We're moving away from dumb pre-programmed logic to real native AI reasoning that can take action immediately using V-logic. It's a true end-to-end system for intelligent physical control. And that brings us to the final, and I think most important question that this all raises. The goal here isn't just to make slightly smarter gadgets. The paradigm shift is so much bigger than that. What we're really doing is building the tools to create true conversational partners for the physical world, empowering our environment to actually participate in its own future. So the question for you is, what will you build when your world can talk back?